stop my freeloading roommate from using my laundry card, I intentionally left it with a zero balance. The next day, she slammed a receipt onto my desk with total entitlement. Lydia, why didn't you refill your laundry card? I had to stop my wash mid-cycle because of you. I put $10 on it for you. Since we're roommates, I won't charge you a convenience fee for the trip to the kiosk. How are you going to pay me back? Venmo or Cash App? I almost laughed in her face. A single load of laundry cost $5, and she had been leeching off my card for 2 months. She had used it at least 30 times. I hadn't even asked her for the $150 she owed me yet, and here she was, hounding me for $10. I looked her in the eye. Fine, I'll give you the $10. But first, pay me back the $150 for the loads you've already done. She didn't say a word. Instead, she turned around and went straight to the dean of students. The dean pulled me aside, giving me a long-winded speech about how she was the school's inspirational representative. He told me to just suck it up. He warned me that if this turned into a scandal, it would look bad for the university and could even affect my graduation. My roommate became even more arrogant after that. She started spouting nonsense in the dorm. Lydia has so much money, why shouldn't she spend some on me? I grew up in the middle of nowhere, but the school values me. If she's really that upset, let her make a scene. At the end of the day, she's the one who won't graduate, not me. I let out a cold laugh. Did they really think I was too afraid to blow this up? Well, I was going to give them a show they'd never forget. Nadine's eyes welled up with tears. She shot a quick glance at our other roommates before lowering her head. Her voice sounded like she was on the verge of a breakdown. Lydia, it was so windy this afternoon. I ran all the way to the student center with wet hair just to refill your card. If you don't want to be grateful, fine. But how can you be so petty about money? Petty? Is that what we're calling it now? Asking for what's rightfully mine? The other girls in the room turned their chairs around to watch the drama. Sloane asked, "What's going on?" "It's nothing. I just put $10 on Lydia's laundry card and now she refuses to pay me back." Nadine sniffled, pausing for effect. "I'm not even saying she has to pay. It's just that $10 is what I spend on food for a whole day." Sloane nodded and looked at me. "Was your card really empty?" I leaned back in my chair, my voice flat. "Because Nadine used it all." Nadine pouted as if she were the victim. "What do you mean I used it? Don't you use it too? Besides, I've used it so many times before and you never said anything." I stared her down. "That's because every single time you said, 'I'll pay you back next time.' But you never did. The first time Nadine leached off me was during the second week of the semester. I had just finished my laundry when she happened to walk in. 'Lydia, my card is empty. Can I borrow yours? I'll refill mine tomorrow and Venmo you.' I said sure and handed it over. The next day, she didn't mention it. I didn't bring it up either. Then came the third time, the fourth, the fifth. Her "can I borrow it?" turned into, "Just let me scan yours, I'll get you later." But later never came. One time, I came back from class and she just held her hand out while sitting on her bed. "Give me the card. I need to do laundry." I asked if she had sent me the money yet. She froze for a second, then laughed. "Don't you still have plenty of credits on there? It's not like it's hard cash. Why are you being so calculated?" Calculated. It wasn't just the laundry card either. Nadine would always ask me to grab her something whenever I was printing files or ordering Starbucks. Each time it was only $2 or $3, or maybe 10. And every single time it was, "I'll pay you back later." Again, she never did. I knew she came from a poor rural background and had 3 younger siblings to help support. She was on a tight budget, so I hadn't made a big deal out of it. But now she was calling me petty. Since that conversation, I had stopped refilling the card. I figured she would realize what was happening once she saw the zero balance. Who knew she would refill it herself and then come to me for a reimbursement? Seeing my silence, Nadine's victim act started to crumble. "Lydia, I only used your card a few times. Don't you think you're being a bit much? You think this is a bit much?" I picked up my phone, turned the screen toward her, and started scrolling. "You've used my card 32 times in the last 2 months. At $5 a load, that's $160. I've bought you lunch 12 times. I've paid for your printing 7 times. I've bought you 9 lattes. All those little things add up to $300. I locked my phone and looked her straight in the eye. That's $460 total. Subtract the $10 you just spent and you owe me $450. Venmo or Cash App." The dorm went silent for 2 seconds. Tears started pooling in Nadine's eyes again. "Lydia, you know my family is struggling, yet you're being so aggressive. I get it. You just think I'm poor. You look down on me." Since she had escalated it to a class issue, Sloane immediately tried to play peacemaker. "Come on, Lydia. We're all roommates. Let's just let the money go." I looked at her. "Let it go? If you think it's so little, why don't you pay me back for her?" Sloane blinked, then rolled her eyes and turned back to her desk. "Why would I pay for her? I'm not her mother." With red eyes, Nadine crumpled the receipt into a ball and threw it into the trash. "Enough, Lydia. I actually thought you were a good person. Turns out you're just like every other shallow rich girl. Fine. Keep your $10. I don't even want it." She stormed out, slamming the door. However, after my gym class the next day, I got a text from the dean of students. He wanted to see me in his office. When I walked in, Dean Miller was leaning back in his chair, looking at me with a strange expression. "Did you have a conflict with Nadine in the dorms?" Before I could even respond, he kept talking. "Lydia, you're the class president. You need to lead by example. Support your classmates, foster unity. I shouldn't have to teach you this." I stood there, knowing exactly what had happened. Nadine had filed a complaint. I played dumb. "Sir, I'm not sure what you mean. Are you referring to the fact that I asked Nadine to pay back the money she borrowed?" The dean took a sip of water. "Nadine is a scholarship student. She is our school's inspirational representative. Your family is well off. You don't need this money. You should be helping her. Don't be so petty about the small stuff." There was that word again. Petty. I took a deep breath. "Sir, my family has money because my parents worked hard for it. Why am I obligated to give it to her?" She used up the balance on my card without asking. Then she refilled it and demanded I pay her back for it. "Don't you think that's ridiculous?" The dean's face darkened. "Lydia, I thought you were a sensible girl. Next Monday, city officials are visiting the campus. Nadine has been chosen to welcome them. If her mental state is affected by this and it ruins the school's reputation, well, your graduation could become a very difficult process. I froze. Graduation. He was using my future to threaten me. The dean saw my silence and likely thought he had intimidated me. His tone softened, and he patted my shoulder. Lydia, you know I've always valued you. I've scheduled you to host the welcoming ceremony on Monday. Write a good script. You and Nadine will be the pride of this university together. Pride? If this university was this blind and unjust, it only made me sick. I walked back to the dorm and pushed the door open. Nadine was just coming out of the bathroom. Her hair was wet, and in her hand was my laundry card. She didn't look even remotely guilty about being caught. She tossed the card onto my desk with a casual shrug. It's out of money again. Remember to refill it. I stared at her. 1 second, 2 seconds. Then, I smiled. Nadine frowned. What are you smiling at? She paused, as if it just clicked. Oh, I get it. The dean talked to you, didn't he? Fine. You don't even have to apologize. I forgive you for yesterday. I leaned against my desk, watching her. You forgive me? Yeah, she said with total confidence. We're roommates, after all. I'm not small-minded like you. With that, she reached out to grab my hairdryer from the top of my locker. I moved faster and grabbed it first. Lydia, what are you doing? I ignored her. I pulled out my key and locked both the laundry card and the hairdryer inside my cabinet. Nadine, I'm fresh out of charity. If you touch my stuff without permission again, I'm calling the police and reporting you for theft. Nadine's face stiffened. She clearly hadn't expected me to fight back after the dean's warning. I put on my noise-canceling headphones and blocked them out. I didn't have classes that afternoon, so I napped until 3. When I woke up and checked my phone, a notification popped up. My membership card at the nail salon had been used for a $360 charge at 2:51 p.m. I stared at the message for 3 seconds while my brain processed it. I don't have many hobbies, but I love getting my nails done. There's a great salon near the south gate of campus. I had preloaded $3,000 onto a VIP card there, but I hadn't gone today. So who did? I called the salon immediately. The clerk stuttered for a while before admitting someone had used my VIP card. They apologized for not verifying the identity and offered me a discount on my next visit. I hung up, already guessing who it was. Nadine walked into the dorm with 2 of her friends, laughing loudly. She probably thought I wasn't there. She stood in the middle of the room, holding out her hands to show off a fresh, sparkling set of ombre nails. What do you think of this gradient? I picked this color specifically. It's going to look so elegant when I meet the mayor on Monday. One of her friends leaned in, her voice dripping with flattery. Wow, Nadine, these are stunning. They must have cost a fortune. Nadine admired her hands, her lips curling into a smug grin. $360. Not too bad. The other friend lowered her voice. Nadine, what if Lydia finds out you used her card for this? Won't she be pissed? Nadine let out an arrogant laugh. Her family is loaded. What's a few $100 to her? Besides, she doesn't dare get mad. The school loves me. If she tries to cross me, she's the one who'll be punished. Is that so? My voice cut through the air, and the 3 of them froze. I pulled back my bed curtains and showed them my phone screen. I was already hovering over the call button for 911. Nadine, I warned you. If you touched my things without permission again, I would call the police. Nadine's 2 friends panicked, shoving each other as they scrambled out of the room. Nadine, however, kept her cool. She gave me a dismissive smirk. Lydia, it's just $300. Is it really that serious? I opened my Venmo QR code and shoved the phone in her face. If it's not a big deal, then pay me back right now. Nadine ignored the phone. She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear and puffed out her chest. Lydia, get this through your head. I got these nails to represent the school in front of the city officials. I did it for the university's image. You're rich anyway. Consider it your contribution to the school. If you behave, maybe I'll say something nice about you to the dean. She kept throwing my wealth in my face like it was a crime, and she pointedly mentioned the dean to scare me. She thought I was afraid. She thought I would fold. I moved the phone even closer. Pay me. $360. Nadine's smile finally cracked. Her voice went up an octave. Lydia, did you forget your meeting with the dean? I am a scholarship student. I didn't waste another breath. I tapped the call button. Ring! Ring! Nadine's eyes widened in horror. She lunged at me, snatched my phone, and hung up the call. Lydia, are you insane? Her voice was high and screeching. Then, the waterworks started again. She sobbed while dialing the dean's number. Sir, please come quickly. Lydia is trying to have me arrested. I couldn't hear the dean's response. Nadine held the phone away from her ear and turned on the speaker. The dean's voice came through, sharp and furious. Lydia, can you stop causing me trouble for 1 second? I told you not to mess with Nadine. If this happens again, forget about being class president. Forget about graduating. He hung up. Nadine wiped her tears and looked at me, a slow smirk spreading across her face. See? The school values me. If you want that degree, you better start being helpful. She turned to the mirror, fixed her hair, and started walking out. Oh, and refill that laundry card soon. I don't want to have to keep reminding you. The door shut. I stood there, slowly tightening my grip on the digital voice recorder I had hidden under my pillow. It had been recording the whole time. They thought I wouldn't make a scene? Fine. I'll give them a scene so big the whole city will see it. Monday morning arrived. It was the day of the city officials' visit. The university had gone all out. Red carpets, balloons, and a live stream for the local news. The dean followed Nadine around like a shadow, ready to tell the officials all about her. He wanted everyone to know how the school supported this inspirational representative, how hardworking and diligent she was. In the crowd, everyone was wearing a fake, practiced smile. We reached the grand hall, and the officials took their seats. The cameras for the live stream were all rolling. I clutched my recorder and walked onto the stage. I saw Nadine's smug look and the dean's I won expression from the front row. Everyone's eyes were on me. I looked up, held up the recorder, and smiled.